Welcome to another episode of Stack Your Points. As always, I'm Matt Clausen, joined by RJ. RJ, how are you today?
You know what, Matt? I booked a trip today. I booked a trip that if you had asked me a week ago, would you book this trip? I would have said absolutely not. And I got to surprise my parents, which is always a terrifying thing when you're like, hey, I have something to tell you. And they look at you in abject horror. And then you get to surprise them with something good. So it's been a fun day.
Yeah, the last time I said I have something to tell you was not a great conversation. Anyway, we're joined by Lonnie from the Call Me Lonnie YouTube channel. Lonnie, how are you today?
If I was not who I was, that last line, I would just rip you apart on. I would just go in on it. You just opened up the door for me in the real world. But we're not there. We're on YouTube right now. And I'm not that guy.
Ooh.
And I'm doing okay. Today's a good day.
Here in YouTube land, I think and appreciate you. We'll see what happens in the real world. Yee. And we're also joined by Craig or KidCat37. Craig, how are you today?
I am doing all right. I feel more like Vince McMahon than anything because I have Jeff Hardy on contract in my house, a little person that likes to jump off of things. So my life is nothing but abject horror and sleepy days.
Yeah. You'd think they're going to grow out of that phase. They don't always grow out of that phase. I'm in my 30s and very much out of that phase. That's fair. All right, there we go.
So we're going to jump into our topics, and our first topic this week comes from Craig.
Okay, so I don't know if you all know this, but The Sky is Falling, a program that no one uses or has always pooped on, is just become a one-for-one transfer partner with everybody's favorite bank, Citi. Keeping that in mind, we love to talk about devaluations. We love the hot topic conversation points. There's a lot of devaluation fear mongering going on right now, similar to what we were doing with Alaska and the MX transfer partnership there through Hawaiian. Just curious, how do you all think the program's actually going to be affected? And granted, I realize I'm the only AA flyer here, but we have a general sense of how those points work. We know what people are saying. But what are you predicting? Delta has been a long time one-for-one transfer with Amex, United with Chase, and those programs have not been completely run into the ground. Delta's got Sky Pesos. I like those Sky Pesos as well. So just thinking about that, what opportunities do you think there are for Citi to just completely crash this ecosystem? Or do you think that it's overblown and that we are just waiting for the floor to resettle itself? Because if we're being honest, the last real change to the AA program as far as point values was 2017. So is this fault or is it AA's fault for just trying to hold value? And we will start with the most anti AA person here, Lonnie, because he doesn't have an American Airlines credit card.
I got an American Airlines account, and it does have miles in it because I refuse to let them expire.
Can I get the spelling on "nih" so I can make that the title of this episode, please?
NYAH.
So I'm going to pick up in the middle of your question here when it comes to the devaluations, because I think we put too much time and effort into discussing or being afraid of devaluations. And what I mean by that is they're inevitable. They're always going to happen. There's always one happening again. The airlines do it, the hotels do it, and everyone's always slightly booty hurt. Like, oh, they just devalued these points. Look, inflation is a devaluation. Your points and miles are a devaluation. It's either happening or it's about to happen. It's never just happened. It's always happening in some way, shape, or form. Being slightly facetious there, but you get what I'm saying. I think we put too much emphasis around it, to be completely honest, where to the point where I will actually say that you just got to eat it. Look at it like the stock market. Oh man, X stock went up like 50 points yesterday. Yep, you missed it. So if you didn't book before your points got devalued, guess what? You missed it. we don't know when it's going to happen or how it's going to happen unless you work for the company that's making the decisions. And I can't tell you how many times it happened with United. And guess what? Still flying United, still booking them, still got miles in the bank, still got to burn them. And I'm still getting on those flights to get me from point A to point B and back to point A again. That's just how it's going to be. So when I see this whole Citi landing AA, yes, I agree. That's huge. That's big. The big three now have a direct partner from the big three credit card companies. That we should have expected it, but at the same time, yeah, that's pretty big. Now, will it get devalued or nerfed in any way? Yep. How? I don't know. Is it going to happen? Yep. Citi's going to devalue AA. Delta is going to get devalued again in some way. United's going to get devalued again in some way. Your hotel, your preferred hotel, your Marriott's, your Hilton, they're all going to get, it's all going to get devalued in some way. So there's nothing I can really say that's going to help you other than be prepared, really, or when it happens, and go on with your day. Go touch some grass, take a deep breath, turn on the Calm app, free for the rest of 2025, Matt, because we got CSR. And
I don't use that app every day.
no, I don't use it every day, but I'm signed into it. I got my free. I have used it once or twice. It's actually pretty good. This is not sponsored by Calm whatsoever. It's actually pretty relaxing. But anyway, there's a lot of good stuff.
We would take the sponsorship, though.
I would take it. Because these devaluations are coming, I need to make the difference up somewhere. So happily we'll accept sponsorships. Hit us in our email. But I forgot, you caught me off guard a little bit. But anyway, I say all of that is just be prepared. It is what it is, but just go on with your day. And so congrats to Citi, congrats to AA, but at the same time, don't put too much weight into it, because if you're like, I'm afraid it's going to be devalued, well, guess what? Spoiler alert, eventually it's going to get devalued. I'm going to stop there.
Awesome. As always, I appreciate you, Zen Master. Truly our Phil Jackson, and I appreciate it. We will now go to the second most un-AA person here, Matt Clausen.
Just for the record, I too have an AA account, and I had the Aviator application up for a couple minutes. Anyway, I'm not getting it.
How many miles you got in that account?
Nothing. You know what I signed up for that account for? I signed up for that account for 100 points from Built. That's what I signed up for my AA account for, because I realized that AA does not work for me. Still 100 miles. Yeah. So Citi landing AA is huge. Yes. The 37-year situationship becomes a marriage in terms of transfer partners. Cool. AA hasn't done a major change to the program or devaluation to the program since 2017. Yes, the clock is ticking. I think they've artificially kept this up for as long as they can. I think two things can be true at the same time. Inflation can drive this, and AA now has a way in which they can get away with this by saying too many miles have come into the program. It just so happened to be right after we became transfer partners with Citi. Both of those things can come together for a no-notice devaluation overnight. My problem isn't that valuations happen. They are inevitable. As Lonnie said, Hilton, Marriott, I prefer, Hyatt, pick your jam, whatever transfer partner it is, a devaluation will happen at some point. Your points that were worth, half a cent per point on Monday could be worth a third of a cent per point on Thursday, right? That's just the nature of the game. And the devaluations will come quick. The devaluations will be silent. The devaluations will happen until morale improves, which it won't. Devaluation is going to happen, obviously, but that's just a fact of life. I'm not trying to fearmonger with it, but when AA devalues, all this love that Citi's getting is going to evaporate very quickly. Now, is that Citi's fault? No, not necessarily. Is that AA's fault? More than likely. But when you do these mega transfers, like there are people who are sitting on millions of Citi points who've just been sitting there speculating and grabbing as many points as they can, waiting for the day that this happens. And again, this costs, buying the points costs Citi money. So, because they have to buy the points from AA in bulk. Is AA going to immediately devalue? No. Will AA devalue in time? Yes. Am I trying to say that the sky is falling? No. Is this good for Citi that they finally have a transfer partner that people are willing to talk about? Yes. Is it going to be a long time that they're going to talk about it? Probably not. If they at least have in their contract that AA won't devalue for a year, that's going to be a year of people getting good value out of AA. And another year in the timeline where AA could have devalued at any point but chose not to, which, whatever. Keep in mind that Citi does have stricter approvals than Chase and American Express for Delta and United. And those two programs have stayed one-to-one for years. Although Amex caveat, you do have to pay the domestic transfer fee
Taxes, yeah.
on that, whereas Chase, it's just straight to one. But they do allow for more points very rapidly than Citi does. Citi is not introducing a business card anytime soon, it seems. We thought that there would be a business card, and business cards become a little wacky in terms of how many points you can develop in a short amount of time, depending on how many cards you can spin up in any amount of time. Chase and Amex are a little bit more giving in those aspects because, well, first, they have business cards that give their points, and second, they have their varying degrees of however they operate with those points. Is sky is falling? No. Am I just trying to temper your expectation? Like, you're going to get great value now. Don't expect that great value 1 or 2 years from now. When I'm doing Citi videos and I'm mentioning AA in Citi videos, this is great for now. But in the grander scheme of things, when I do videos regardless of the transfer partner and talking about airlines and hotels and whatever, the deals are great for now. The deals in 2025 will not be the deals that you're going to find in 2027. They're not going to be the deals that you find in 2029. Like, those deals will be far worse compared to now. But they will be the deals for then. And the deals that you got in 2017 with American Airlines are not the deals that you're getting in 2025 with American Airlines. The deals then were for then. So, like, conceptually, there's always going to be devaluation. It's just going to be the question of how quickly do they devalue, how badly do they devalue, and how much is it going to affect your ability to do the thing you want to do with your American Airlines points. If it's going to overnight double Q suites, like, ouch. If it's going to overnight triple British Airways first class, ouch. I feel your pain. But until that happens, make hay while the sun shines. Just know that the sun is going to be setting at some point. That's all.
No, absolutely. And I hope that after 37 years, that Citi treats AA better than you and Lonnie have treated me, because in case no one out there knows, Lonnie and Matt did not wish me a happy anniversary for being members of their channel. And I'm hurt. It's okay, though.
Appreciate your patronage.
Hold on. Wait a sec. Hold up. I'm about to pull it up right here.
Lonnie's going to get receipts in real time.
I got receipts.
I don't, Craig. I'm sorry.
You are at 10 months.
Oh, okay. I forgot my own anniversary, y'all. That's on me.
Yeah,
Just you treat your wife better than you treat Lonnie's anniversary.
That's right. Where I was going with that.
Your card is still gold. You have not hit platinum member status yet.
I was feeling so strongly about how much I love Lonnie's videos that I just assumed it had already been a year. Time flies. With that said, we are going to go
here with Lane. You're 10 months.
Well, you know what?
You're 10 great months, by the way. I really appreciate it.
Oh, I do appreciate it. It's just, I'm really bad at the shout outs of the membership.
It's also funny because United's the only one that hasn't had a plane crash in the last year. That's fun. That's a low bar, people.
AA's wasn't their fault.
Any plane crash is your fault. I'm just going to say that.
All right, anyway.
Now to the most AA positive person that we've known on this channel, the person that has been the biggest, greatest supporter of American Airlines, their high quality metal products, wonderful customer service. RJ, what are you thinking?
I do have an AA card at the moment, so I am, by definition, the most positive of the three that are not you. Matt and Lonnie were giving their answers. I did a bit of research, and I picked New York City, because there are many airports in the New York metropolitan area, and I picked three random places in the US. I am not talking about international. I don't care about international, so I am not your person to international look up. Some Delta were cheaper on points. Some United was cheaper on points. Some American was cheaper on points. Sometimes there was one AA flight that you could get that was super, super cheap, and everything else was 100,000 miles. Some Delta, there are like 17 options that were all 50,000 miles. Some United, same thing. So, like, I get it. You are very excited about that flight at 4 a.m. that you found that's 12,000 miles. I get that. But do you actually take that flight, or do you just like wrap your arms around the concept of that flight and make out with it like it's a pillow and you're in middle school? Like, I'm asking guys legitimately because people like to. Matt's
That was some aggressive pillow loving.
that was staying in the edit. That's
That
what
was-
that was.
It was staying on
but-
a tree for dear life.
I see that.
Chase the edit is what she's talking about.
Anyway, people like the concept of really cheap flights. But if you don't really ever take those really cheap flights because they're at inconvenient times, or there's only one of them, or you actually don't travel that much, you just talk about the 14 trillion Citi points or AA miles you have, it doesn't matter. And I think that's what people constantly forget. It doesn't matter. I will spend 50,000 Delta miles for a first class flight basically anywhere that I want to go regularly. I think I just paid 40,000 to go to DC over Labor Day. Guess what? I lost zero sleep on that 40,000 miles. If it was 15, would that be cool? Sure. I knew it wasn't going to. I did not care. You know what I mean? Like, people get so bent out of shape about, but they have 15,000-mile flights. Okay, how many have you taken in the last 12 months? Quickly. Like, that is my answer to these people. Okay, Lonnie, you are special. I'm going to put you over in the corner, sir. Not the bad corner, like the VIP Lonnie corner.
With the refreshments and the
Yes,
lemonade.
there's lemonade, there's tea.
Soft
An actual
cookies.
good
soft
salad.
cookies.
Yeah.
There's good salad bar. It's the good corner. I'm gonna just set you over there for a minute.
With the Parmesan cheese.
Yeah, but most people who are complaining about devaluations don't actually use the thing that they're complaining about being devalued. They like the idea that in 15 years I will take a first class flight just around the world on whatever. But they don't do it. So you've already devalued your own system by not actually taking the trip. Look, I just spent 240,000 Delta miles because I am flying my parents to Hawaii because I am winning Child of the Year. Did it hurt that my account balance is now like 800 miles? Bet. But like those, as Spaithco liked to point out in the chat, those miles had zero value until I used them. If you're sitting on 2 million thank you points, 2 million AA miles, 2 million whatever, it's not doing anything. Unless they're in a way that you can cash out and get that money and then, oh boy, wait until that tax form comes for you. Like, they're not going to help you. So get the value. If it goes up, that's just the game. AA probably kind of wants things to go up a little bit, but this is the cover for them to do it. So, like, anybody being mad at Citi and thinking AA is this perfect little angel that did nothing wrong ever, your dad is not Henry Winkler. This is not Parks and Rec. You are not that special. Just take a breath.
No, thank you for that. And I think that's the point that I was looking for. We have a lot of people in our broader credit card community, and I won't call out any specific locations or anything of that, but people that just hold on and hoard miles and think that is some sort of badge of honor. The entire point of this game is to save you money by using those points and miles and having fun experiences, right? I love AA because it works for me because of work, and it has just been my great little ability to substitute personal travel. But, now that I don't travel nearly as much for work, I don't have the ability to sustain a 700 to a million point AA balance, right? And so the likelihood that I'm going to continue to use these points or to build up AA miles in that reference, doesn't matter to me. And when we're talking about these devaluations, will they hit hard? Probably. Will it matter because we'll still have other ways to travel? No. And that's the wonderful thing about points and miles. 4 people in here have the ability to use other airlines, and we can look at other places and locations to say, hey, it's cheaper if I just pay cash here or if I use these points to go there. And I think, again, this goes back to pick your partners and pick what works for you. And if AA works for you, great. But if AA doesn't actually work and you just like the idea of being able to transfer Citi points from 35 custom caches, I just don't know if you're doing it right here, people. So I will say thank you to you all for indulging me here. I appreciate it. Oddly enough, RJ is the most positive on AA right now because I am looking to be rehoused. I am a programless traveler right now. And so Delta, United, if anybody wants to reach out, Allegiant, Sun Country, I'm also here for that. For sponsorships, if you want to get me back and forth, those flights are completely free and you give me black Uber car service from my home to the airport, I might work with you. So
You were
There's the
asking for a
Louis
lot.
bag all packed and ready.
I'll have my $2,700 Louis bag ready to go for my Allegiant flight.
Real quick, Craig, how many people do you think actually use AA miles to fly AA as opposed to booking Qatar or booking Qantas or booking JAL or booking any of their One World partners?
Oh, that's minimal. Because here's the other thing, and RJ pointed this out. Do you know how expensive an AA first class flight is? Y'all, I don't book first class with my miles. I book economy, and then my status is just high enough that I know I'm coming out of Indianapolis or Philadelphia or even O'Hare for the most part, I'm going to get an upgrade. Unless they quite literally sell every single one of those first class seats, I'm getting that upgrade. I'm not spending 100,000 points or $100,000 for a first class flight from Indianapolis to Philadelphia on a ERJ 170? No.
Just wanted to raise that little point there. That's all. Because that's where the devaluations are going to hurt. Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, book your Q suites for 600,000 AA miles. Then tell me how many points with Citi you got. 600,000 fewer, I'll tell you that much. Lonnie, your topic this week.
Yeah, I got me a fun topic tonight. It's going to be short and sweet, not too in the weeds. But so I was thinking today, because I'll be taking another cruise on the world's largest cruise ship in the next couple of months, where I had the epiphany moment of, wow, who would have thought I could ever use United Miles to book a cruise for my family, period. And that really surprised me. Not necessarily surprised me, but it caught me off guard because I had never thought about it. And then I backtracked a little bit. I was like, oh, yeah, I remember when I could use United Miles to book hotels, like when they opened up their internal United travel portal, which you can also do rental cars in, but that's not really a big surprise. And so my question is, in what way have or can you redeem your points or miles that has unexpectedly surprised you? And it can be previous, it can be current, but it has to be real. So it can't be future. Sorry, Matt. And with that, I want to, because I called out Matt. Matt, you're first.
So you're saying I can't say cryptocurrency because that's coming in a couple of months?
That one's pretty official. But can you transfer your points to cryptocurrency? Can you transfer out your Chase points to Bitcoin?
You can transfer out. What's going to be happening is you can change your ultimate reward points, fund a Coinbase wallet with your ultimate reward points. That is coming. That is official.
Can it be
And
one
that's
for
going to be
one?
in the.
Can I transfer one Chase UR point for one Bitcoin? I would cash out.
Oh, I don't think it's going to be that easy. No, I think you're going to get fractions of a USCD.
0.0000001.
Yeah, we're not making out like bandits on this one. No, it's going to be bad. And that's surprising to me in that that's even going to be remotely a possibility because Chase. No, but other things you can redeem your Chase points for that you can do right now, the Apple redemption in the Chase shopping portal. You can redeem for a MacBook Pro for like 1.1.5 with the Sapphire Reserve or the Sapphire Preferred 1.25. I'm surprised that those didn't get changed. Maybe they will come September. Who knows? But you can do that. You can redeem out with the points boost. That's an interesting way you can utilize your points and get a little bit extra, or, you know, at least have a good floor to operate off of. Cashing out for gift cards is always a wild thing to me, just because why would you do that? But it's an option for you. It's definitely an option. Not an option I would choose, but if gift cards are your jam, you can do that and you can save a little bit in terms of like a penny for a gift card and can be like 8.85 in terms of the savings you can get when doing the gift card transfer. Those are some pretty interesting and surprising ones. Bitcoin, when it launches, Coinbase, when it launches, is absolutely going to blow my mind because I can't think of why you would want to do this, but it's an option for you. So those are some pretty interesting ones. And it is always unexpectedly surprising, even though it's been capped now. If you have the Charles Schwab American Express Platinum card, you can turn your membership reward points to 1.1 cent per point in your Schwab account and invest in whatever you'd like to invest in. Crypto coin ETFs if you want, and do that at 1.1. So that's always good. That was a nice surprise when I learned about that. Then it got capped, but it's capped at 1 million points. So you're good.
I just need the Chase transfer to glitch for one day. Give me 1 point for one Bitcoin.
Yes. Then
if I miss that day, if that day was yesterday, I might jump into traffic.
Lonnie becomes the richest man in the world overnight.
Lonnie buys United.
And the blockchain just can't do nothing about it. It's in there. FBI can, but the blockchain can't. Anyway, Craig, you know what? No, RJ. Let's go to RJ first.
Do you guys know you can turn your points into Amazon? I'm kidding.
But say, are you surprised?
No. I don't do anything wacky with I don't. I use my Hilton points at Hilton. I use my Delta points at Delta. I move my Amex points to Hilton and or Delta. I am the most boring person in the world when it comes to how I use my points because I use my points for the things on the tin and I am happy about it. So unfortunately, I'm gonna pull Lonnie. I gotta bow out. I don't use them for the weird stuff. I just use them for what's on the tin.
I can accept that. Go ahead, Matt.
The surprising part with the Amazon thing, you can do it for as little as 1 point to save the 40%. Is the wild part.
Yes.
Yeah, yes. I do that a lot. I do that so often.
Nobody cares.
When it works, it's great. Matter of fact, I'm going to check right now. Anyway,
it works all the time.
My stuff always works sometimes.
So I actually just burned 378,000 AA miles through the AA hotel portal. So again, we went to Napa this past weekend, and I stayed at the Augebreu du Soleil. It is similar to the Four Seasons. It's a non-program hotel chain or resort experience. That room was supposed to be $8,800 for the 2 days. I don't have $8,800 to drop on a hotel. I just do not. And for those of you at home that care about math, for Spaceco, it was 2.328 or 2.33 if Spaceco allows me to round. those are the type of experiences I will never, ever, never in the entirety of my life pay $4,000 a night for a hotel room. That is just absurd. That is asinine. It is completely against who I am as a person. I burn some invisible play money? Absolutely. For me, like, I'm intentionally trying to burn down my AA balance because that's the way my little gerbil brain works. I want to make sure that I have a clean break with AA, make sure it's a nice breakup. So when all the custom cash grifters come in with their 37 million Citi points, I don't have to deal with it. I don't have to worry about anybody booking up my first class seat because my status didn't pass.
You have
Oh,
raised your hand, sir.
Yeah. I was like, Zoom, what are you doing? But yeah, so that's my random tidbit. I, for the most part, use my points the way that they are intended, just like I use my cards the way that they are intended. I'm a bad credit card user because if you tell me that I need to spend $50 at a Hilton, well, I'll just stay at a Hilton 4 times because for whatever reason, that is my pet peeve. So yeah.
All right. I'll give you that. Maybe I'm the only one that is weird here, I guess. But
You're
how was that happen,
creative.
man?
You're not weird.
Yeah, I was gonna say creative.
I'm-
I've also not had the chance to buy a TV with AA miles, just to put that out there.
Oh, yeah. I've done that. I've used my miles to buy weird stuff in the Mileage Plus Award shopping portal. My Bose, like over-ear noise cancellation headsets, TVs. You can get a PlayStation and Nintendo Switch in there. You can't find it at Target, but you can find it in there. So
I do need to switch too.
They're so nice.
Oh, then I'll tell you where to get it. We can talk offline when we finish
appreciate
recording. I'll tell you exactly where to go get it. Because I know, yeah. Because it's a thing with American Express right now. So for
There we
everyone
go.
else, I'll drop it in my members only. But yeah,
Boom.
we'll holla about that.
My early
yeah,
anniversary gift.
I'm waiting for some better games. I'm a Mario Kart fan. I don't know if anyone noticed from the wall back there. I got a blue turtle shell behind me as well.
Yeah.
Money on the table, y'all. Y'all don't want to play Mario Kart with me. We'll not be friends anymore. I will destroy you. Pull up.
I'm a Pokemon guy.
Hashtag pull up. That's all I can say. Anyway, Mario Kart. I am one of those people that's so good at it, I can actually trash talk.
Oh, I love it.
So, are you waiting for your son to be old enough where he can play against you just so you can absolutely destroy him? And there is video evidence of this?
What's funny is even though he's so young, there's been times where he's like grabbed the Switch controller because I got the Pro controller because you gotta get serious with it, and he's actually like turned on the Switch and like hit the A button randomly and turned on Mario Kart and at the menu, and I walk in and I'm like, "Come on, son, you're not ready for this. Go ahead and turn that off."
Lonnie said, "Ball up top, little man."
You almost caught one today. You ain't ready for this. But no, I am honestly excited for him to get ready for it. It's probably going to be one of the things that I'm going to teach him one of the early games I'm going to teach him how to play so he can enjoy. I'm going to teach him all the tips and tricks. And he's going to be an absolute monster by the time he gets to grade school. That first sleepover, like, he's betting all the pizzas, all the cupcakes. Like, he's coming home with it, period.
That's how I feel about Smash Bros. I'm 100% here for it. It's a sink or swim. You will be baptized in fire, little guy.
Yeah. Like, I could run a hustle on Mario Kart. Like, I'll be like, "Oh man, yeah, you beat me. Oh dang, let's put $100 on it."
Wait, where did that come from?
Hell no.
Not saying
Nope.
I have done that to folks, but I'm not gonna say I haven't.
Lonnie, the true grifter.
I mean, if you got hustled on Mario Kart, I'm sorry.
The most shocking thing is not the $100. It's that it wasn't like 100,000 United miles. If you could just swap those United miles over, I'll
Not
take those off
Bitcoin.
you.
It's not like I got a QR code. Just like, here, share your miles to me.
I figured if anybody could figure that out, it'd be you.
It probably would be me, and I'd just be around getting people like, "Hey, take a picture." Yep. Anyway, That was my question. I wanted to go a little bit fun route, not so serious route, because I saw everybody else's topics this week. So I'm going to go ahead and hand the mic back.
All right, with that, we'll jump over to mine real quick. As much as we're talking about the credit card recession, companies sure seem eager to put out more credit cards. We've seen co-brands from Imprint announced recently the Rakuten credit card. There's a upcoming Fetch Rewards credit card that's going to be really terrible when it launches. We're seeing cardless co-branded cards. We're seeing Booking.com recently release a new credit card in order to extract like as much as they can. Do we expect this to continue? Are we going to see a rush of cards now? And if things get better, do we expect these cards to go away as they have before? Because this is not the first time Rakuten's put out a credit card. Are credit cards an economic indicator? So I'm going to throw to RJ first.
Yes, credit cards are an economic indicator. As far as the rest of the question, I think to one of my earlier points, I think the problem with having a global mass effect is it changes people's habits. And I think the credit card companies don't entirely know, like they have more data on us than ever. But it's like when you go to the eye doctor and they're like A or B, and then they change something and they're like A or B, and then they change something else and it's A or B, and you gave three different answers that should not at all work with each other. Like they do not make any sense, right? Like I think they have so much data on us, but the data doesn't always make sense. So they're trying to put out cards, they're trying to cash in when they can because they don't necessarily know what's going on in our little brains because we're complicated beings who are weird. So I think some of that is just, to your point earlier, make hay while the sun shines, right? If people are signing up for cards and people are using cards and there is more swipes than ever, put out a card. Do I think when things go differently, and I don't necessarily think it's better or worse. I think you can have a lot of really good credit cards when the economy is doing well because people are spending more if they're making more, right? So, yes, you get to the top and it's people living off the interest of their accounts and they don't actually spend anything they make, but I am not talking about those people. If you qualify for a Centurion, just assume everything I'm saying is not for you. Just small caveat there. But no, I think that the people who like cards like the Altitude Reserve and who like things like Bank of America look at the world right now and they don't know where they fit in. But if you're somebody who will take a flyer on a card, or you're somebody who, is interested in a bunch of different ecosystems or a bunch of different airlines or hotels or whatever, there's more choice, I think, than there was 5 years ago. It's just not going to be, if I put $100,000 through it this way, I will get this reward structure. I can maximize here. I can do this without having any credits to deal with or a simple dining credit to deal with, and then I can go on with my life. That's not how it is anymore. But the thing is, like, people have shown because we're not picking A or B correctly or in a way that makes sense that they don't want simple. Like the cards wouldn't look the way they do if people consistently wanted simple. So I think the banks don't really know what's going on. I think the people don't really know what's going on. And the people who want the most rewards for the least effort feel like they're being left behind because they are. And I don't blame the banks for it. Because, yeah, if you want to just park $100,000 in Bank of America, that's great. And they're going to use that money to the fullest extent. But what else you got for me, bro? They want you to occasionally pay a little interest and they want you to do other things. And it's a messier time now than it used to be. But I don't necessarily think that it is as dire as the people who want the good old days would lead us to believe. And I feel like I need the Law and Order disclaimer of this is not based on real events. This is a fictionalized account. Because Discord. Shout out, go to stackyourpoints.com. You can join the Discord that way. You can also find out about membership that way. This is my mini plug.
Done. Lonnie, your thoughts here?
No, I do. I'm going to go in the opposite direction. I do not believe credit cards are an economic indicator. I believe banks like money, and a credit card is a guaranteed way to get it. Like, it's a win-win situation for the bank. First off, every time you swipe the card, they make a little money. More importantly, right now, people aren't paying stuff back. So there's interest, which is a lot more money. We've talked about buy now, pay later, all that horrible stuff, credit card debt, like the America's $1 trillion just alone in credit card debt. Things are becoming more expensive. People can't make ends meet. All that other stuff leading to I need to get another credit card, and then I'm going to put everything on it, and then hopefully I can pay that one back, and then that just goes down a rabbit hole. Then you got other companies that everywhere you go to the mall, every store has a credit card. Grocery stores have credit cards. Instacart has a credit card. DoorDash has a credit card. Flippin' Rakuten, the one that supposed to give you cash back, now has a credit card. Like, it's not necessarily an economic indicator. It's, hey, here's a real easy way for us to make some money. We're going to get paid every time someone uses this thing. And then when they don't pay it back, we're going to get paid. We're going to charge them even more. And yeah, even if you don't get paid, you can sell that debt off to a collector and you still get your money. So like I said, the banks are in a win-win situation. The other aspect of it is, going back to one of our earlier questions, they're actually making it more simple to get credit cards. Like, as much as we talk about the prestige of American Express, let's just be real. They just announced a crypto card and a Rakuten card. WTF? Like, straight up, like, I did not see one of those coming from Amex. Maybe a Citi, maybe a Wells Fargo. Like, it actually, I think that kind of devalues the Bilt card a little bit, because Bilt went to Wells Fargo, and like, Bill, it sounds like you could have easily, did you try Amex? Like, did you knock on their door? You could have left a flyer on the CEO's windshield in the parking lot and got it, because the way that they're doing partnerships right now, it's not an economic indicator. They want money. We have money or we don't have money as consumers. Either way, they're going to get money from us. And I think that's why we're seeing not just so many refreshes, but so many more credit cards out there, because everybody wants to get in on the game. It's a literal get rich quick scheme, if you will. That's my 2 cents. And they're going to put 28% interest on that too.
So what I'm told is Bilt made a call to American Express, but no doubt Spiderwebs was playing when they called, and it was updated to reference cryptocurrency.
No, they called on a Sunday and wonder why no one picked up the phone.
Oh, they were working on Citi hours. Okay, makes sense.
Yeah, they called on one of the Citi nights.
Before we get comments about this, Amex is just the payment network on those cards that Lonnie mentioned. Before people go to the American Express website looking for what Lonnie mentioned, because I am the person that usually responds to these comments, so I just want to put that one out there.
Very true. So I'm glad that you clarified that. But still, that just leans further into my point of, we're going to do payments on cards like these because they're getting money. They're still getting paid off of it. I feel like we could launch a Stack Your Points credit card at this point.
We can call Imprint. We can call
but
Cardless.
that might be a good topic, so let's put a pin in that one.
Like, I have an idea for Netflix and it just shows up next week on Netflix. Like, that's how I feel like credit cards. Like, hey, we have a podcast that has just under 600 subscribers to it, and we want to open up a credit card for our members. And they'll be like, all right.
At least one or two
on
of
us.
Yeah. At least one or two of our members would probably sign up for that credit card, depending on the value proposition of that card.
I'm on the show, and I don't know if I would sign up for that credit card.
Oh, probably not. Now I've got, sorry, I'm not home right now. I'm walking in the Ethereum playing in my head. Craig, your thoughts here?
Similar to what our co-hosts have said, I am of the mindset that banks just like money. I think it's not necessarily a recession indicator, but I do think it is a spending indicator. How many restaurants have you all gone into recently that have said, we will charge you that extra 3 to 5% for using a credit card, or we'll give you a discount for using cash? I think we'll probably see a small reset here. Philly is a weird city, right? Like up until maybe COVID, Philly was almost all cash. Like we still used trolley tokens for our main mode of paying for public transportation, right? Yeah, I can see your face. Put in perspective, I got to Philly in 2018, right? So like up until about 2021, that's when they implemented a card tap system. And it's pretty normal for you to just see not the we don't take Amex, we take Amex, we're just going to charge you 3.5, 4% to use it. So again, I don't think it's necessarily a recession indicator, but I think it's a spending indicator, and that it's making stuff more expensive for everybody because no matter how many small margins that we think we win because we liquidated a credit for Resi or for insert blank usage, the banks are still winning from swipe fees and interchange. We're only hurting ourselves in the long run. I still love my credit cards. I love my points. I love my miles, but I'd be lying if I didn't say that maybe we should think about our larger spending habits as a country. So
Yeah.
that's it for me.
We definitely need a reset to happen, but that's going to be even more painful.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's going to be necessary. Anyway, RJ, how about you close this out?
My topic's not incendiary or anything. Do we take this also like too seriously? Because it feels like sometimes, and look, I'm a fan of debate. I talk about credit cards probably more than the average person, right? Like, I love this, but my God, sometimes people are acting like their children are dying because their favorite credit card got a change to it. Like, it feels like we're taking this too seriously. Like, we're the people who, when you meet them, they'll be like, hey, he's gonna mention he's vegan 7 times in the first 5 minutes. Just get through that, and then you can talk to him like a human being. Like, it feels like sorry, Matt, we're the people that talk about being gluten-free for 45 minutes through lunch. Like, we're becoming, as a community, insufferable. And is it me? Am I to the point where I just see so much jadedness and just like I'm trying to do an exorcism of the jaded? Or are you guys seeing the over sincerity of, oh my God, this doesn't have priority past guesses. I need to go like to a forest. Craig, I'm going to start with you.
Yes, 100,000 million zillion% yes. Like I think Lonnie mentioned it 34 minutes ago. Touch some grass. My God. I'm just gonna say this. If I hear another person refer to their partner as player two and this is what I'm going to do for them and they'll just accept it, like, did you realize there's a whole human that somehow they agreed to live with you or do adult hugging, pillow hugging? Look back at the video. Matt showed you what happens. But like, relax. Okay, you got 1 cent per point, or God forbid you cashed out at zero point 0.8 cents or point whatever the cash out rate is for Amex points into your checking account and you didn't get the best value. Okay, it happens. Did that cash back help you pay for a bill? Did it keep you from paying some interest? Cool beans, bro. Like, do you? Will I, as a person that is heavily into credit cards, try to tell you to get the most value that you can? Yeah, but I'm also going to sit here and say, my son jumped off the back of the couch and got a black eye, and I had to go to the hospital at 2 o'clock in the morning. And I don't know if anybody's ever had to take their kid to the ER. It is the most terrifying thing in the world because you're thinking, oh my God, they're going to think that I am abusive to my child. Quite literally, they got there and they go, oh, yeah, we'll probably see you a lot. You have a little boy. And I go, oh, you're not going to investigate? And I go, no. But that's what my stress levels are. I don't care that I only got 2 cents per point on a hotel redemption using airline miles. I don't care that I got 0.4 cents per point using Hilton points to book I was going to say a Holiday Inn, but that's not even a Hilton. You get what I'm saying, a Hampton Inn, right?
I would love to
It
know
is what it
how you
is.
got any redemptive value from Hilton points booking a Holiday Inn.
It's a
Magic.
secret. I'm a grifter. Come sign up for my course. It's in my private special OnlyFans Discord. So there we go. I also have a cup of water that I'm selling to whales, just if you all want to get in on that business as well. But yeah, relax, folks. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. And if credit cards are truly the end all be all for you, cool beans. I love that for you. Everybody, there's always a 1%er in no matter what hobby we do. But what I would say to you is, does this bring you happiness, or is it a way to treat your unresolved, unchecked behavioral and mental health diagnoses? Just
Very
gonna leave
good
it there.
point. Mr. Lonnie, I'm hoping for some Zen. I'm also happy to get a Lonnie rant. So whatever end of the spectrum you want to be on, I am more than happy to get your thoughts here.
I don't think I have a Lonnie rant for you, but in short, yes, we all take this a little bit too seriously. And I purposely try to separate myself from this. And so you hear me in my videos. If you're a member of my channel, you hear me talk about it. Like, this works for me. Do what works for you. Hopefully it's like something you can use for yourself. Just use it as a jumping off point. But not against everything that Craig said, because he was already correct with that. So I'm not going to touch any of that and just repeat it. But the other aspect of it is that we're not all correct. It is okay for someone to do something that's not what you do. Like, it's okay for someone to get a card that you think is stupid. They thought it was great. And even if it's a mistake, you don't got to shoot them down because they got it. Because I think that because of the level of seriousness that we have, we actually end up talking people out of cards that might actually end up being good for them, because we can say this card is stupid. Matt and I talk about Built all the time, and that's why I think it's so important that even after every single Built rant, even if I joke about them, I'll still say Built's a good card. This is the business, the corporate side that has the issue, but the card is actually good, folks. It is. I have it. I did my 5 transactions already this month, whatever you want to call it. It's still a good card. But the reason why I do that is because it's so important, because I know that there's a lot of, I don't want to call them gullible, I don't want to call them naive, but a lot of people just don't do the research for themselves, or they don't understand this environment or this ecosystem to the level of that we put the attention into. Thus meaning that they're going to lean on our words as the experts, as the professionals in this regard, because we're the ones that actually live it. We're the ones that actually has gone through it. And so it's really important to make sure that you give true, honest, hardcore feedback. Now, the other aspect of it is, like I said, we are so serious on one another where I can't tell you, even after having my channel for a year and a half, people are like, so you're telling me you're not going to fly Delta? You're never going to fly Delta? No, I'll hop on Delta tomorrow if it made sense. I would. Make it make sense. And if you're like, they got flights for $700, why would I pay $700 when I got $7,000 worth of United miles over here? I'm not taking that money out of my account. I've already paid for those miles. Everything I've spent, all the work that I've done to get them, I've already went through it. Oh, that's just stupid. No, it's stupid if you got an Amazon gift card, are you going to use the gift card on Amazon? Or are you going to pay cash because it's on sale? That's stupid. See what I'm saying? Like, it's already paid for. I already prepaid. That's how I got these miles. Now, I'm just speaking of like way it's comments and things that I've gotten, because I don't want to put anyone else out there like that. But at the same time, as Craig mentioned, just because you didn't get 2 cents per point doesn't mean you got a bad redemption. You got whatever you wanted. And going back to my Amazon, you may not have taken money out of your pocket. Craig went to Napa Valley, right down the street from French Laundry. Probably couldn't get a reservation for a multitude of reasons. One, he was wearing a Blackhawks jersey when he pulled up, and they just turned him around. But
Mr. Keller does not appreciate.
as he mentioned, he just got a room for $8,000. Does he have $8,000? Yes, he does. I know him well enough, and I know how much he spends on groceries that I can comfortably say he got $8,000. But the point is, I don't want to pay that. Hell, I don't want to pay it either. And so he found a way to not pay $8,000. Craig, did you even calculate your cent per point, or were you just, I got what I wanted, so there's no point to calculate it? I'm happy.
Quite literally, until this moment in time today, did not calculate it. My wife and I looked at each other and we said, "Do you want to just do something ridiculous?" And I said, "Yeah, it's been a rough week at work and Jeff Hardy." So, like, when we were booking it, we said, "What's the most expensive thing we can pay for with these points?" Boom.
And you know what? I advocate for that because I am team take the trip. It's about the experiences, not about going in debt and all that other stuff, folks. You're like, we ain't in there. But it's about those particular experiences. And like I said, he and I didn't talk about that. I literally just came out of my pocket and be like, I guarantee he didn't calculate cent per point because he did not give two spits. There, I won't cuss this week, RJ. He didn't care. He was like, this is what I want to do with them. I'm going to go do it. And I don't have to take extra money out the bank account to go do it. And he did it. But someone to be like, you could have got better value. Or you went to Napa Valley, you could have used that many points and went to actual France. Dude, seriously, go pound sand. Like, we are way too serious with one another where we should just, honestly, I would like to take all that same energy and just celebrate one another. Let's celebrate the fact that Craig burnt X amount of points to go to not French Laundry, but Napa Valley with his significant other, with his spouse, have an absolute great time and a memory that I'm sure he's going to never forget, at least until he has a better experience, and just be like, hey, dog, you did that. How do I do it too? And if we get to that side of the spectrum, then I am very happy that we are so serious with one another. But the simple fact of that card costs too much, you shouldn't get it. That card is not worth it. You're not going to get effective annual fee. Your cent per point value. You could get more cent per point value if you did XYZ. All that can literally kick rocks. And I've said it before. Y'all can I'm happy to share my redemptions and all that other stuff with you. And if you want to come at me, you know what? Email me while I'm on vacation. I'll respond when I get back because you're probably sitting at home and I'm out here enjoying my life. Come enjoy your life with me. Come meet me at the Jet Bridge, straight up. For those that want to meet me at the Jet Bridge, come on, hop in the lift. Let's do this. For everyone else, I'll send you my receipts. You calculate that for me and have it ready for me when I get back.
Lonnie, you never fail to make me smile when you are both philosophical and pull a little bit of a dad at the same time. It really is a great combination for you, sir. Matt,
Thanks.
as somebody who has moments of seriousness and has moments of their head exploding, sometimes in the same sentence, what are your thoughts on the seriousness of the credit card community writ large?
Okay, first question. When you had a MySpace account, was a bank in your top 8? Is a bank on your friends list on Facebook? Did you invite a bank to your wedding? Did you invite bank executives to your wedding? Do you have friends who are bank executives? You might. Okay, I'll give you that one. But did you invite Citi to your wedding? Did US Bank happen to crash your wedding because like they didn't get an invite? No to all of that? The bank is not your friend. It doesn't matter who the issuing bank is. US Bank is not your friend. Bank of America is not your friend. Wells Fargo is not your friend. Citi, Chase, American Express, Capital One, First Premier, they're definitely not your friend. Credit One, also very much not your friend. Barclays, because they also issue the luxury cards, they're not your friend. Everybody is not your friend. No bank is your friend. We tell folks all the time, I will chime as often as I can. I will shout it from the rooftops. The banks are not your friend. They're out there to get money from you. The moment they can extract more money from you in exchange for whatever value they happen to be giving you that you may or may not like, and you're going to have to sit there and say, am I biting this lemon or am I getting out? that should be the be all end all of it. Like, we take this way too seriously. Like, some of us in this community have like a parasocial relationship with our bank. It sometimes gets a little bit weird, and you should take that step back. And yes, the folks who have some parasocial relationships with one particular bank do have other banks in mind, but they're not willing to explore those other options until the parasocial relationship is shown to be the parasocial relationship that it is, was, and always will be. Which, again, a little weird. So, do we take this seriously? Yes. Like, a card fundamentally changing, I can understand the sort of processes of grief. And yes, when Wells Fargo does something that's going to make me like really sad, I'm going to have a moment of being really sad. I empathize with you. I do. But again, the bank is not your friend. You didn't invite the bank to your wedding. A bank didn't crash your wedding because they were pissed off that they didn't get an invite to your wedding. They didn't ruin your holiday. Well, they might have for other reasons, but they didn't go out of their way to ruin your holiday. They're not in your top 8. They're not on your friends list. They are not following you on, well, they might be following you on Twitter because, well, social support. But like, you get what I'm saying. They are not actively your friends. So like, treating them like your friend when they're just an entity that is out there to make money, you're taking this a little too seriously. Like, yes, do all the math you want, hammer down to make sure that you're getting as good a deal as you can, but you're getting as good a deal as you can for now. On the other podcast that RJ and I do, it'll probably be a running gag that we say, why did this happen? Because plot. Why is this happening? Or like, how long can this last? For now. Make hay while the sun is shining. Yes. Always have an exit strategy. And don't treat the bank like your best friend, because when the bank betrays you, it's not your best friend betraying you. It's just the financial institution that you just happen to put a lot of money and time into that could have been spent on other things. Balsa planes or something. I don't know. Investing with other banks.
I
But yeah, that's
will
all I got.
I will only push back slightly that American Express is trying very hard to be Keith's mom's best friend, and she's leaving them unread.
That is a whole other type of parasocial relationship that I don't necessarily want to get into because they want her money. I'm not saying that American Express is a gold digger.
But you're not saying that.
Exactly.
Thank you, gentlemen.
With that, do we have any final thoughts for this week? Craig, any final thoughts?
Relax, touch some grass, have a good time, use the points.
Stop thinking about your top 8. Lonnie, any final thoughts there?
Oh, I guess the title's going to be Touch Some Grass, RJ.
I mean, I was going to go with private special OnlyFans Discord, but I suppose I can do Touch Some Grass.
No, yeah.
Yeah, is up there as well to me. Hoping I could land that plane, but I'm not Citi. RJ, any final thoughts?
I think that credit cards with annual fees should come with a small little patch of grass that you are legally required to press your face into at least once a week. Like, you must actually go and like touch that patch of grass, because I think we've all lost our minds.
Who pays for the upkeep of that grass?
It's part of the annual fee. A tiny little chipmunk comes with a tiny little lawnmower and mows the grass for you.
It would probably make more sense if it was AstroTurf.
Hey, Matt.
You
Yes.
ever got turf burn?
Fair. I was thinking more. Anyway, before I dive too far down that hole, next turf, folks. Anyway, thank you so much, everyone. We are going to be taking the last few moments of the show to highlight our Diamond and new members. This week, as always, is brought to you by our Diamond members, Rex Bleen, Rupert Pond, Double Animal Fries, AP, Keith, and Mitch528. Thank you for your continued support. We have a ton of new silver members, those being Clinton Woodward, Stacy Travel Points, GB, Tom Morrison, Ramon Olivero, Wilfredo Gomez, Shadowfrost, Tariq Berkes, Chris, Anthony Venture, DS, Justine Lynch, Alexander J. Black, Zach Kinsey, JP Grace, David Gomez, Jeremy Leslie, David P, Tariq Gaines, that guy, and Donut 3722. Thank you so much all for becoming members, and we appreciate your time. We appreciate your attention throughout all of this. Thanks so much for watching. We'll be back next week.